Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be showing you all the books that I got for my birthday. I can't remember the last time I did a book haul, so this is going to be exciting. One of my favourite books. If you've been here for a while, you know that I talk about this book a lot, especially this year because this is when I read it at the beginning of the year. I was literally thinking about rereading this, and then I got it as a gift and it just felt perfect and like a sign. And that is The Nanny is Off Limits by QB Tyler. My goal is to collect all of QB Tyler books, and I love this edition of it. It's like the discreet cover, but this is a single dad nanny trope. If you don't know, it's already one of my favourite tropes, and I just absolutely love everything about this book, and I am definitely going to be rereading it in the new year because I love this book. And then I got Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I read Bride a while back and I really enjoyed it, and so I can't wait to go into this one now. I've heard different things where people prefer Bride over Mate or vice versa. Some people prefer Mate over Bride. I really enjoyed Bride when I read it, but this is apparently about Serena, who is orphaned, packless and one of a kind, coming forward at the first human-were hybrid. It was supposed to heal a centuries-long rift between species. Instead, it made her a target prey through the ruthless political machination between were, vampires and humans. With her enemies closing in on her, she has only one option left, if he'll have her. As alpha of the Northwest Pack, Kian commands obedience. His authorities is so absolute, only a fool would threaten his mate. As a matter of Serena doesn't reciprocate his feelings, nothing will stop him from keeping her safe. And then it goes on, but this one sounds really good. I love a good wolf vampire book. And then I got a wild card. Now I recently read this one and absolutely loved it. I love this series. I've got the rest of the books in the series, so this is going to complete my collection, which is always very satisfying. But this one is a ex-boyfriend's dad. Definitely a 5-star read for me. Really enjoyed this one. And then I got the reappearance of Rachel Price. Now I've been wanting to read this one for a while, since it came out actually, and I just never got round to it. Now I can finally read it. I don't know too much about it. All I know is that it's from Holly Jackson and I know that it's going to be good. It says Rachel was really here and she was real, but that didn't mean her story was. Sounds good. 18-year-old Belle has lived her whole life in the shadow of her mum's mysterious disappearance. 16 years ago, Rachel Price vanished and young Belle was the only witness. Rachel is gone, assumed dead. The case is dragged up from the past with the Price family. Agrees to a true crime documentary. Belle can't wait for filming for life to go back to normal, but then Rachel Price reappears and life will never be normal again. Light, camera, lies. Sounds good. Why do I recognize those names? I'm not sure, but I'm very excited to get on into. Oh, stop, scared me. Why do you blend in with the dark? Because I know a Holly Jackson mystery thriller is always a good one, and normally I can read them in one sitting. Then we have A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is the only Emily Henry book I haven't got to yet. I wanted to get to it in the summer but never did. That one does sound really good. I can see it hidden beneath those sparkling irises of hers, the truth. What it was like to be born into a world of silver spoons and golden platters. How it felt to fall in love with rock and roll royalty and for him to love you back wildly. And about the other thing, the scandal, the cult, the trial, the accident, and finally 20 years ago Margaret's disappearance. What happened, but also why? And why now, after all this time, she's telling the story. I am really intrigued by this one. This one sounds different from what Emily Henry would like normally write. I don't know if that's just like the book of like getting you to read it, but it does sound different. Then we have a One by One, which is also one that I read recently. This one's about like the ski trip and stuff, and when I read it, I think I rated it like 2 stars or something like that. I'm not sure, but I am a little worried that maybe that was just because I was reading it in like a time frame. But this did come with more Ruth Ware books. So we have Turn of the Key, which I've heard a lot of great things about. When Rowan comes across the advert, it seems too good to be true. A live-in nanny position with an extremely generous salary. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, and that will end with a child dead and her in a cell awaiting trial for murder. Knows she's made a mistake. She's not guilty, at least not of murder, which means someone else is. This one sounds really good and I cannot wait to pick this up. Hopefully I can read it very soon. And then we have The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. Text message arrives in the small hours of the morning. I need you. Isa drops everything, takes her baby daughter and heads straight to Salton. She spends the most significant days of her life at boarding school on the marshes there, days which will cast their shadows over her. Isa and her 3 best friends used to play the lying game, competing to convince people of outrageous stories. Now, after 17 years of hiding the truth, something terrible has been found on the beach. The friends' darkest secret is about to come to light. That one just sounds so good. And then we have this one, which looks very interesting, in a dark wood. It even just sounds interesting. I'm so excited to give this one a go. Nora hasn't seen Claire for 10 years. Not since the day Nora walked out of her old life and never looked back. Until, out of the blue, an invitation to Claire's hen party arrives. A weekend in a remote cottage, the perfect opportunity for Nora to reconnect with her best friend, to put the past behind her. But something goes wrong, very wrong, and as secret lies unravel out in the dark wood, the past will finally catch up with Nora. That just sounds so gripping, and it seems like on the shorter side, so it feels like a bingeable book, which is always a good one. Then we have The Woman in Cabin 10. Now this one is right in my alley. I've heard quite a few things about this one also. This was meant to be the perfect trip. The Northern Lights, a luxury press launch on a boutique cruise ship, a chance for the travel journalist Low Blacklock to recover from a traumatic break-in. Except things don't go as planned. Woken in the night by screams, Low rushes to her window to see a body thrown overboard from the next door cabin. But the records show that no one ever checked into that cabin and no passengers are missing from the boat. Exhausted and emotional, Low has to face the fact that she may have made a mistake. Either that or she is now trapped on a boat with a murderer. That sounds so interesting. I cannot wait to read this. And then finally we have The Death of Mrs. Westaway. This one is intriguing. Harriet Westaway receives an unexpected letter telling her she's inherited a substantial bequest from her Cornish grandmother. It seems like the answer to her prayers. There's just one problem. Hal's real grandparents died more than 20 years ago. Hal desperately needs the cash and makes a choice that will change her life forever. She knows that her skills as a seaside fortune teller could help her con her way to getting the money. But once Hal embarks on her deception, there is no going back. She must keep going or risk losing everything, even her life. That one sounds so good. I cannot wait to read all these because I've read, I would like to say, a few Ruth Ware books now, and I feel like these ones sound like their best books. So those are all the books that I got for my birthday. I am so grateful for all of them and I cannot wait to read them. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and leave this emoji if you're watching to the end, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye!